While the first part of my XCOM analysis focused on the progressive aspects of war, like technological, military and economic progress, this video will concentrate on the regressive aspects of war which are presented throughout the game series. The regression. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. In XCOM, the aliens can be seen as a collective of different alien races like the sectoid, thin man, floater, muton and so on. In the newer games, the leaders of the invasion are the ethereals. The ethereals use the combination of mind control and experiments to subjugate and mold the numerous races that comprised the alien invasion. Many of the races that XCOM has to fight were uplifted by them in order to create superior beings. However, they were all deemed failures and now serve as shock troops for subsequent invasions. The Uber Ethereal appears to be the head of the Ethereal collective and therefore it is also the leader of the invasion. If you compare the structure and the hierarchy of the aliens, they show a conspicuous similarity to authoritarian regimes. Leading parties in these regimes tend to control the masses by the use of propaganda as their form of mind control. The Western world tends to value a country by its level of democracy. Even though the idea of democracy is as old as ancient Greece, it appears to be the most progressive system so far. Due to the participation of all citizens and the separation of powers, one might claim that democracy is the best form of government. Looking at the democracy index, the score of a country defines how well the system works.
The Economist Intelligence Unit's Democracy Index seeks to measure the health of democracy in pretty much all the countries around the world. The scores range from Norway, which we rate as the most democratic country on Earth, all the way down to North Korea, a hereditary communist monarchy, which is by far the least.
Therefore, democracies tend to see themselves as modern and future-oriented at the same time. Taking a bold look at the aliens in XCOM, their technological level can be described as highly advanced and far beyond the human state of the art. However, looking at politics, one might describe their system as outdated. In science fiction, this strange combination of technological advance and political regression is nothing new. We can see the same in Star Wars, where space travel and monarchy go hand in hand. In Star Trek you can see the Klingon Empire, and also in Halo the opposing alliance has a similar structure as the aliens in XCOM. Here an highly advanced alliance of various alien races is led by theocratic hierarchs who try to foster their so-called great journey, which is actually a colossal mass destruction. It might be true that technological progress cannot be compared with political progress. However, these sci-fi examples raise the question whether progress in tech, especially in the field of war, might support a step backwards towards a more autocratic system. After eliminating the leadership, the stories in both XCOM 1 and XCOM 2 come to an end, leaving it open for speculations what the Earthlings might do with their new technology and powers. On the one hand, it is possible that XCOM and humanity only take the alien tech as a role model for the future, but not their political system. However, on the other hand, it is possible that democracy has already died in this war. If you look at the structure of the XCOM team as an example, there you can see a reference to a militant nation led by yourself. As the commander, you take total control over internal and external policies, finances, research, recruitment, development and whatnot. Nobody dares to resist your orders because you are the only hope for the world. On your way to victory, you have analyzed your enemy as to copy their strategy. You fought them violently, you attacked their bases, you examined their corpses, you captured them alive as to test them, you created a new superhuman leader race, and you killed them with their own weapons. As you, your team, and therefore also the Earthlings have been so successful, it might be unlikely that the commander, the group, or the people with psychic powers don't use their superiority for their own benefit. The question is whether humanity was not only inspired by the alien technology, but also by their malice. In other words, after killing the killer, there might be a new killer in the room. Therefore, the planet Earth might be just the next origin of a new space invader named humanity. In Chimera Squad, we can see a glimpse of the problematic situation after the war, in which different fractions try to use the new technologies as to spread chaos throughout City 31 as just one example. A movie that always comes to my mind while playing XCOM titles is Paul Verhoeven's Starship Troopers from 1998, which expresses a similar idea. Based on the novel by Robert A. Heinlein, this movie depicts a war between humanity and alien bugs. Similar to XCOM, these bugs also have a strict hierarchy, with workers and warrior bugs that are controlled by brain bugs. Earth combined military plans to fight these insects, and therefore also the story follows the military career of 3 high school graduates. Interestingly, they start off as a possible cast for a teeny TV show. However, in the course of the story, the brutality, the propaganda and also the military ranking shape them into efficient tools of warfare. The director Verhoeven fosters this idea even further by using Nazi uniforms. Also, the world government on Earth is fundamentally based on militarism.
To fight the bug, we must understand the bug. We can ill afford another Klendathu.
Would you like to know more?
Furthermore, it is hinted that also on Earth there are some humans that have developed the ability to use psychic powers. Therefore, also at the end of Starship Troopers, the audience is left with a bittersweet victory in which the Earthlings celebrate their first major victory, but at the same time they are on their best way to adopt the bug's hierarchy themselves.
Come on, you apes! You wanna live forever!
If you look at history, going through World War II and fighting fascism, also the United States had changed. After creating their own racist propaganda, their own concentration camps, and weapons of mass destruction, the road was paved for the era of McCarthy and the militarism that we can still experience today.
Good God, yo! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, okay?
War is brutal, gruesome and awful. It causes misery, grief and endless destruction. So the question was, what is it good for? As the player of XCOM, you can experience the rapid progression of technology and power that was fostered by war. As the commander, you made this change possible by the choices you've made. In this game, you can see that on the one hand, war can be seen as a motor of technological evolution, and on the other hand, war can be seen as a devolution of democracy into militarism, authoritarianism, and even neo-Darwinism. At the end of the game, it is questionable if you and your team have become a copy of your enemy while defeating them.
Until now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
So in the end, this game might teach us that the urge to defeat our enemy might just turn us into the very thing we wanted to destroy.